Hey all, Ian from Eurogamer here. Now, the last time I covered Dragon's Dogma 2 on this channel, I showed off some fairly general clips of gameplay that were mainly based around the wacky mishaps that befell me as I wandered around Vermund. This video will be much more focused though, because for some reason, even after all of the insane stuff that I got up to the last time I played the game, Capcom still invited me back to play more Dragon's Dogma 2. This time I explored in and around the beastren kingdom of Bahtahl, where I got to try out two new vocations, the Mystic Spearhand and the Magick Archer, both of which are available only to the Arisen. In this video, I'll be showcasing as many of these vocations' unique weapon skills as I was able to try out during my hands-on time, so that you can see exactly what is possible if you choose to imbue your Arisen with these powers. Goodbye, world! But before I do any of that, I quickly need to show you this incredible cooking footage that I captured while playing. Set up a tent next to any old campfire that you find and you'll not only be able to adjust your Arisen's weapon skills, but if you have any, you'll be able to grill meat too. Grilling meat will boost your character stats for a certain amount of time, which is great and all, but it's nothing compared to the meat grilling animation that plays out. I mean, I'm not even sure if that is an animation. I think that might actually be real filmed footage of meat grilling. What do you think? Either way, I really shouldn't have edited this video on a fast day, because watching that just made me feel very hungry indeed.
Well, we've eaten our fill. What say we settle our stomachs with a few hours' sleep?
Good sleep is the key to a good adventure.
Well done!
So let's look at the Magick Archer first, who excels in long-range combat. So this vocation may not be suited to those of you who love clambering all over some of the bigger foes in the game. Instead, you'll want to hang back and deal damage from a distance, and one of the best ways to do this is with the Frosthunter Bolt, which not only hurts your enemies, but also builds up a freeze effect on them, allowing your close-range pawns to wail on them while they're chilling out.
Poison or secured with all due haste.
Open your eyes, everyone. 'Tis dark out, but our day begins.
Nighttime in Dragon's Dogma 2 gets dark, like really dark. But if you have the Candescent Orb skill selected, you can fire your own personal flares into the environment in order to light up your life and find a way forward. Don't rely on this one for combat situations, as it's pretty hard to land a hit with it, but for stopping you from falling off a cliff and into deadly deep water, well, it's invaluable.
Materials, eh? I shan't deny, they have their uses.
I didn't get to use the Ricochet Seeker too much, as it's only really useful when you're in caves due to the way it bounces around, but I wish I could have used it more, because visually this is one of the coolest skills in the entire game.
Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor.
We must not let down our guard.
In the one little area I found to use it, this attack ricocheted off the walls, and the more it did so, the more it increased in power. So if you fire one of these off in cramped quarters, you'll basically wipe out anything that stands in your way.
I grant your weapon a magical boon.
The Flamefang Arrow was one of my favourite weapon skills to use for the Magick Archer, because it allowed me to control a magical flame arrow as it flew through the air. Thanks to the large area of effect caused by the arrow's explosion, this skill was great for taking down clusters of airborne enemies, like these two harpies here. But it's also really useful for hitting distant enemies or nailing those hard-to-reach weak spots.
We are none of us alike in vocation.
One should think we'll be able to counter whatever comes our way. Each to their own.
Here we go again.
At first glance, the Hailstone Bolt here seems like a bit of a rubbish skill for an archer. After a lengthy charge time, all it does is fire a big lump of ice in a fairly short arc, which means it's slow and you have to be a lot closer to your target than with the other skills. But don't discount it yet, because the solid damage it does when it hits is super powerful, and it was the only weapon skill I had in my arsenal that allowed me to deal damage to these magic immune golems. Every other attack merely tickled them, but hitting their weak spots with a massive chunk of frozen water absolutely pummeled their health bars.
I've grabbed Frosthunter's bow!
Arisen, are you all right?
I'm safe. Thank you.
The Magick Archer isn't just a good vocation for those who like to deal damage at long range, because, with the Remedy Arrow skill selected, players can also revive fallen allies from a distance, which is great if your pal's lifeless body is lying in the middle of a scrum of enemies. In order for the Remedy Arrow to work effectively, you'll first need to lock onto your target and then wait until the circular bar completely fills before firing. Nail this though, and as soon as the arrow hits, your pawn will instantly pop up and resume the battle.
We'd best prepare ourselves for a prolonged battle. This foe...
Thank you, Master. I'll leave vocation.
If you love climbing up your enemies and then stabbing them in the face, the duo spear wielding Mystic Spearhand vocation will be a much better fit for your playstyle than the Magick Archer. The Mystic Spearhand is actually a really good fighter for all ranges though, as skills like the Dragoun's Foin here will allow you to dash towards targets and get up close and personal with them in an instant. The Seching Storm skill here is one that I never really found time to master, probably because I chose to use it in the worst possible moment ever. And that moment was when I decided to pick a fight with a dragon. What this skill does is summon 4 small blades, which then automatically fly towards your target, something that is probably great against singular smaller foes, but against this dragon here, well, I expect I'd do more damage by flicking bogeys at a wall. Fancy having force powers in Dragon's Dogma 2? Well, with Humble Offringe, you can force throw items of scenery, dead bodies, and even weakened foes at other enemies. It does a fair amount of damage when these things hit, and you can easily wipe out smaller targets with one throw. But I just mainly use this one because it looks cool as fook.
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
If you're surrounded by enemies and need something that will help you beat off the competition, try activating the Skiedragoun's Fangtooth attack. This will shoot your Mystic Spearhand into the air, where they will then plunge their duo spear downwards at high speed for a nice spot of area of effect damage. As a bonus, this skill also acts as a kind of makeshift parry move, as it will inflict greater harm if you time it well and use it to evade a target's attack.
Well done, Master.
Miscalculated.
The Mystic Spearhand isn't just an offensive class though. They also have the Mirour Vesture weapon skill, which allows them to cast a magical barrier around themselves and any nearby allies too. This barrier only lasts a short amount of time, but it does basically nullify all incoming damage, so it's really useful to cast when you've done something incredibly stupid, like attacking a bloody great dragon. Why did I keep doing that? I attacked the same dragon 3 times.
Suppose we might as well gather what we can.
This final Mystic Spearhand skill isn't a weapon skill, but I feel like it's worth pointing out because, if you can nail the timing, Forebending Bolt is a really awesome move to pull off. Charge up Redoubted Bolt by holding R1, and once it's finished, it will become something called a Forebending Bolt. Fire that at a target, and if you press jump at the exact moment your target flashes blue, you will teleport to that enemy's location within the blink of an eye. Combine this with a cheeky grab, and you'll be able to go from standing in a field to stabbing an enemy in the head before said enemy even feels the blade going in.
I suppose we might as well gather what we can.
So, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this little Dragon's Dogma 2 deep dive. If you did, please do give it a like, subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games, and come back in the future for more Dragon's Dogma 2 coverage. Now, to play you out and give you something to look at while you decide which of the upcoming on-screen videos to click on, here's some footage of me throwing my pawns off of a cliff. You're welcome. Oi! Come back here, Mally. You can't hide from me. I know you don't want to, but you're going over just like the others. Come on. Yes, that's it. I got you. All right, here we go. I'm going to get you thrown out. You can't. You see? You try to escape the Ian. You can't escape the Ian. Bye.